On August 30th of 1987, Stefka Kostadinova set a new world record that was destined to stand for decades. In the women's high jump, she achieved a mark of 2.09 meters, which converts to 6 feet 10 and a quarter inches. This world record took down her own previous record, which stood at 2.08 meters, and ever since this moment went down now 37 years ago, nobody has quite been able to challenge this jump. Throughout her career, Kostadinova won the Olympic Games in 1996. She won 2 world championships in 1987 and in 1995, and she also won 5 indoor world titles between 1985 and 1997. And combined together, all of these accolades made her easily one of the greatest women's high jumpers of all time. However, given the incredible longevity of this one jump in 1987, which took place in Rome, Italy, 0:58. Many see this single moment as the greatest jump of her entire career. Through multiple generations of athletes, various Olympic Games and countless jumps trying to match this one height, nobody has quite been able to do what she did back in 1987. In fact, the closest that anyone has been was Blanka Vlasic back in 2009, who jumped a height of 2.08 meters. But the legendary mark of 2.09 still stood. It really did seem as though this mark was destined to stand for another 10 or even potentially 20 years. However, at this year's Paris Diamond League meeting, something truly shocking went down, and it all took place from Yaroslava Mahuchikh from Ukraine. Now, throughout this women's high jump in Paris, France, Mahuchikh was battling with Nicola Oslagers from Australia, and up until 2.01 meters, they were actually tied. But then, as the rounds unfolded, Mahuchikh made a very special kind of history over the final few jumps. With the bar now placed at 2.07 meters, she made a nearly flawless jump on her second attempt, and at this point of the competition she had already taken the victory as Oslagers wasn't quite able to make her clearance at 2.03. This meant that Mahuchikh didn't even need to jump anymore. She had already taken the victory, and she had already set a new world lead at 2.07 meters, which was already a new personal record and already placed her among some of the greatest jumpers of all time. But then she decided to raise the bar up to 2.10 meters. And well, she did this on her very first attempt. With the slightest brush of the bar, Mahuchikh cleared 2.10 meters on her first try. And her reaction here says it all. This jump took down a record that had stood for almost 40 years, and it now makes Yaroslava Mahuchikh, the 22-year-old from Ukraine, the official world record holder in the women's high jump. To put into perspective just how incredible this performance was, only 83 athletes have ever jumped 2 meters or higher in the women's high jump. And beyond that, only 11 athletes have ever jumped beyond 2.05. With each passing centimeter of height, it really does get exponentially more difficult to find success. But despite this massive challenge, Mahuchikh just set a world record that very well might not be matched by another athlete other than herself for a very long time. I remember watching Kostadinova's world record from 1987 and thinking that nobody would be able to beat this mark until a new generation of athletes entered the picture. I mean, it really was a superhuman effort achieved long before most athletes currently competing were even born. And even though this world record had survived the 1990s, the 2000s, and the 2010s, 2024 has just brought forth yet another world record, and it coincidentally took place in Paris, not during this year's Summer Olympics, but during a Diamond League event. This world record was actually one of the oldest world records in all of track and field, as only a very small set of marks still stand from the 1980s, and even fewer stand before 1987. But now we officially have entered a brand new age of the women's high jump, and at 2.10 meters, the Mahuchikh just proved that the 7-foot mark might actually be achievable from a female high jumper far sooner than we expected. And now I want to hear from all of you. What do you think about this high jump from Yaroslava Mahuchikh? What do you think about her chances at this year's Summer Olympics? And also, do you think that she has the ability to jump 7 feet before she retires? Thanks for watching, everyone. Show some love by liking the video and subscribe to my channel for more fascinating content.